Vance from the Vance Law Firm is in studio with us this morning, waiting to answer your legal questions right here on air. As always, we'd like to remind our viewers that you are a personal injury attorney. And we do have an online question. It's quite a lengthy one, but I'm going to go through it. Carol from Matthew says, can you take legal action against someone for sending you malicious texts regarding your spouse and marriage that leads to a divorce? That third party was named for interfering in a marital misconduct. And what is the statute of limitation for taking legal action against the individuals that sent the text message? And do you recommend any apps or websites for clients who are representing themselves? And yeah, that's a deep question.
One,
It
yes.
is.
I'll start with the difference between criminal and civil. There could be a civil claim. The divorce goes through domestic relations court, which is civil. If there are any criminal matters, any criminal statutes that have been violated, that's something that the district attorney of every county has to take up. It's not something that you can hire a lawyer to do your criminal claims. If you need a criminal defense lawyer, if the DA took action against you, that's a separate area of law that we don't practice in. But so if there's a criminal issue at play there, I would reach out and talk to the local district attorney. As far as the texts and things that may have led to the divorce, some claims, some terms, defamation, slander, come to play. Those are civil actions that someone could take against someone if they feel like they've been damaged. Keep in mind that the only thing that our court system allows is recovery for is monetary damage, money. The court can't make a marriage go back together. A court really can't make a marriage become divorced. That's something that the parties have to agree to, because usually if there's a divorce court, it's not really you're not going to court about whether there's a divorce or not. You're usually arguing about, and the judge is going to decide who gets what in the divorce. Once a party's filed for divorce, it only takes one to file for it. The divorce is going to happen. It's just a matter of what the settlement terms of that are, or what the judge decides. So I would say specifically in that area, speak to your divorce attorney. Yeah, there's a part in there that I read, or we read, that said, representing yourself. I'm always cautious, or I always tell folks I'm not a big fan of representing yourself, because there's just so many things that may apply or may not apply, that if you're representing yourself, you're not going to know necessarily what those are. I know what I know, and I know what I don't know about practicing law. And so I'm quick to say that's an area that we don't work in. And so if someone's going to take up hey, I'm going to represent myself, I just say beware of what you might run into, especially if the other side has an attorney. That's always I always frown on that and say, gosh, it's really worth getting someone in that area that can protect your rights and protect what may or may not you might need to do to protect what claims are. Statute of limitations, it depends. I often say here, in an injury, if there's an injury in our state, it's 2 years from the date of that injury. Although you're claiming that your injuries it led to the divorce and it led to the tension in the relationship, that may be a little different. If you're going to take on the claim, make the claim of slander or defamation, it's probably going to be 2 years from some point when you realized or should have realized this was happening. It's probably a conservative bet from 2 years from that date, but that's going to be fluctuating, because I suspect it's not one thing or one document or one text that led to everything. So yeah, I would say my place I would recommend starting is with a domestic relation or a divorce attorney, someone that specializes in that kind of work all the time. Again, the state bar can refer one, or I can probably give you some names of folks in town that do that, that I've known over the years that we've sent clients to here or there. So hopefully that gave you some direction.
Yes.
It was a long question. Hopefully we gave you some good information to help you.
And we have another caller, Tina from Montgomery. We are ready for your question.
Yes. I have a pending claim. It's been pending since 2021. It's a medical claim. And they say that it does not have a time frame. And I'm just wondering, is there a time frame on this claim?
Well, it depends on what the claim is. If it's and I'm just thinking at our office, we have some medical cases. There's some class actions that are out there. Some mass torts are claims of many people that aren't necessarily a class action. But I'm just thinking we represent a lot of families and people who were injured by the water in Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. That they sort of roll that back because all it happened a long time ago. The court made a special delegation of, hey, we're going to open this back up to help protect and compensate the families and survivors of people that were affected by the water. That's a medical claim technically, but it's going on. It's been going on for a while, and so there was a deadline of when things had to be filed, and that's what comes to mind with that question. Is that, hey, you keep saying claim. Make sure there's a difference between you made a claim or a lawsuit was filed, because having a claim open, I relate it to, say, an injury claim with a car wreck. If you made a claim with your adjuster or the adjuster for the at-fault company and nothing happened and it kept hanging out there, that's not the same thing as protecting your statute of limitation with 2 years. A claim could be out there, and if they can stall you, and I'm not saying they're doing that intentionally, but if it didn't do anything within 2 years, they could just say, sorry, you're out of luck. Tough for you. So I would make sure you know the difference. Is it a claim or is it a lawsuit, or does a lawsuit need to be filed for that claim? So that'd be the first place to start. I hope that helps. I would say reach out to the person making that claim for you, or if you don't have a lawyer, consider calling one or calling us back. I'll get more details and we can sort of maybe give you a little better direction. But hope that helps, and thanks for calling in.
Stuart, thanks so much for joining us here
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
Alabama Live, as always.